Bhayo Bhano Namaskar. I would like to share with you an incident I had a few years back while conducting a session in Guwahati. I had a participant, Mr. Manish Dekka. And the interesting thing is, while we were having tea, we started discussing, and I found Mr. Dekka to be extremely fit, the way he was standing, and I could see through his clothes also that he was physically in amazing shape. So I asked him a question that, Mr. Dekka, it's very heartening to see a gentleman of your age. He was about 41 years at that, maybe 41, 42 years old. You're extremely fit. And I asked him, what do you do? So he says, well, I do look after my physique, my health, but part of the reason why I'm physically so fit right now is just a few months back, I've climbed or summited Mount Everest. Now, it was the first time I'd ever come face to face with anyone who's climbed Mount Everest. So I got very intrigued, and I asked him if he would like to please share as to why or what triggered you to climb the Mount Everest, because I did realize that climbing Mount Everest is very, very challenging and the preparation requires a lot of effort. So he narrated the reason why he decided to climb Mount Everest. He said when he was young, relatively young, his father passed away. So it became his responsibility to take the family forward, being the elder of the children of his father and mother. And he started working very, very hard. And his father was into construction, if I remember correctly. And he worked hard and brought the business back up to a certain level. And in the process, he got married. And when he did get married, he requested his wife to take on the responsibility of the home front so he could totally focus on the work front. And it was an understanding that the wife would look after everything at home, and he would, totally devote towards taking the business to new levels. And years passed, and he was blessed with children. And one day, after many, many years of his marriage, he decided to come home early. In fact, it was a Saturday, and normally he would work 7 days a week, and he would leave very, very early in the morning and come back late at night. But one Saturday, for some reason it triggered, he went home at about 11:30 in the morning, hoping to be able to spend some time with his son, who was a teenager, and daughter who was slightly younger, and his wife and his mother. And when he got back home at about 11:30, the wife was very, very happy, pleasantly surprised, and she asked him as to, what brings him back home so early. He said he just wanted to have a cup of tea and spend some time with the family. But he was a bit taken aback when he found out that the son was still sleeping. So he asked his wife that how come the son is still sleeping, and the wife said that normally on Saturdays and Sundays, he gets up very, very late, and this concerned Manish Dekka. So he went to the room, opened the room, and shook his son up, but the son did not get up. He kept sleeping, and he was having his tea, and after about half an hour, the son just comes out, wishes him, and he starts to think as to, there's something I need to do to correct my son. And he did ask his wife as to why she did not correct his behavior. And the wife said that, well, in the past few years, the son has become a bit adamant and arrogant at times. And she was reluctant to share this information with Manish Dekka, thinking that it would add to his stress. Now, Manish Dekka realized that he had to do something. So he called a friend of his, a chartered accountant, who was also an advisor, and he shared his concern about his son at the age of 14 or 15 becoming slightly indisciplined. And he asked for some advice. And the accountant said, call me back a few days later and I'll think about it and give you something that would add value to your effort to correct your child. And after a couple of days, the chartered accountant called him and said, if you can come to my office, I would like to share something I feel may work. So he showed up, and the chartered accountant said that a few years back, the first person to climb Mount Everest from Assam had come to address his son, who at that time was a teenager. And that one interaction with the climber of Mount Everest had a great impact on his son, and he shared that his son became a more disciplined child, and he felt that if he was very serious about getting his son back on track, it'll be great if he were to become the second person to climb Mount Everest. And that's how Manish Dekka decided to climb the Mount Everest, and surely as it was advised, he climbed the Mount Everest, And as soon as he got back to Guwahati, the school in which his son was studying found out through newspapers that Manish Decker, the father of one of the students, is the second person to summit the Mount Everest. So they requested him to come and address the students. And he says, I went there, my son was sitting in the front. I didn't have much eye contact, but I was talking to the whole gathering of young students in that school. And he said, after I came back from that address hall, my son met me in the evening, and he said, Papa, I would also like to climb Mount Everest. And since then, the son, he says, has become extremely disciplined, and he realized one thing, that sometimes to correct a situation, one has to make an effort. So I would like to inspire viewers to realize that climbing Mount Everest is not a matter of being easy or difficult for anyone. If you feel it's important, then you do it. So by listening to such incidents or by reading such incidents, I'm sure you and I can realize ways by which you and I can help others and ourselves to overcome indiscipline or bad habits. In the long run, I strongly feel there are no shortcuts in life. God bless you. Thank you very much. I look forward to interacting with you sometime next week. Thank you.